I just wanted to make a video about God's good. You know what I mean? His love goes beyond our understanding. Jesus' love goes beyond our understanding. That's what I got from today. But despite that, he chastens his friends, all right? He chastens his buddy down here. He chastens me. He knows my weaknesses. He does. Yeah. Weaknesses that I've had my whole life. My whole life. Whole life. Probably from Satan himself. Giving, starting me off on these weaknesses. God knows it. You know what I mean? He's trying to change my mind, cleanse me, purge me. That's what I'll say. God's trying to purge me. He is. Of all these things. Making me new. That's another thing I read today. Making me new. He's trying to make me a new person, which he's doing. So, I don't have television, but I randomly go into a bowling alley. I just felt the need to go to the bowling alley, and then I see the attempted assassination on Trump. I'm like, what the, like, God bent the bullet. He was, God was Magneto. He bent the bullet. He bent the bullet away. That's one of the things I've always feared. If I walked a road for God, that is one of the things I've always feared. Assassination attempts on me. I got all the worst treatment in life, but they didn't finish my body off, obviously. But that's what I was afraid of. You know what I mean? If God wants me to get more known, like he's doing, like he's definitely doing, more known than I am now, there could be assassination attempts on me. But God knows I don't fear that. You know what I mean? As long as it's successful, you know what I mean? I have nothing to live for, really, except for promises from God, if that'll come. Speaking of which, there's a beautiful, I'm like, God, help me with all my weaknesses so I'm worthy enough to be with her. No joke, you know what I mean? The battle axe is trying, you know what I mean, to be a worthy man. He's trying to be a worthy man one day, so I can be with a female, a beautiful woman, basically, so I'm worthy. That's what God's trying to do. He's trying to purge my weaknesses that I didn't think were possible. These weaknesses that I thought was impossible to overcome. Not with God. God can do it, apparently, so I'm trying to believe he can purge me, of these bad habits, basically. But anyways, I never watched television. I haven't watched, the last time I really watched television, like really, Trump wasn't even president the first time. It was, he was debating with Hillary before he was president the first time. That's the last time I really watched television. Like, really. I watched here and there, different places. That's how much I don't watch television. It's annoying. But the one time I watched television, I see the assassination attempt. I'm like, what the hell? Like I said, God doesn't stop the actions of men or women. Like assassination attempts, he doesn't stop that. But he might have bent the bullet. He might have bent the bullet so it missed. You know what I mean? That could have been an expert sniper, and God bent the bullet. He made him breathe wrong. You know what I mean? At the last moment. Despite what anybody thinks about the guy, God bent the bullet. I swear, he probably did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where God stands in the politics arena. I don't know. God, I don't know. If he even gets involved, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just assuming stuff. But yeah, that's one of the things I always feared. Any man that tries to stand up for the right thing, for freedom, for God, you know, for Jesus, for really standing for them, assassination attempts will come. They will. They will. You know what I mean? No one's exempt. If they kill Jesus, they'll kill anybody that represents Jesus. For real represents Jesus. Like he wants me to do. Like Jesus wants me to do. He wants me for real to represent him eventually. Not 70% represent him. Not like halfway, 70% in, 1 foot out, like I've been doing, Because I'm like, I don't think. Part of me's like, Jesus isn't legit in every way. Apparently he is. He knows everything about me still. Because he knows if I can disprove Jesus, I don't have to change my bad habits. I don't have to. If I can disprove Jesus, I don't have to. That's it. I don't have to change any of my bad habits I've had my whole life. No joke. Because changing bad habits takes effort. It does. Changing your nature, changing your bad habits you've had your whole life takes effort, my friends. It takes effort, and God knows it. I can only do this with God's help, changing me. Only with God's help can I do this, purge myself, and be a vessel unto honor, as in Timothy says, the book of Timothy. God knows I try to keep up with all these scriptures, you know what I mean? But one thing that stood out, before Jesus lands, has his feet on the ground, I guess the rapture is going to happen before Jesus' feet land on the earth, like it says in Zechariah. So a lot will happen before he cleanses the world and all that. A lot will happen. Like I said, I don't believe I'll be one of the raptured. I don't believe so. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Only God knows for sure. He knows my path better than I do. But if the taking up the rapture thing is legit, I don't know if I'll be raptured. I don't know. I might be left with the darkness, the Gotham's underbelly on the planet. I might be left here, to be a light to the darkness. I don't know. I don't know. Only God knows. Only God knows my purpose, really. Only God knows my plan, really. If anybody really knew my purpose and plan, if they knew God's purpose and plan for me exactly, like I said, people would have assassinated me a long time ago. They would have, if they would have known my exact purpose with God, my exact plan with God. They would have taken me out, finished me. The only reason the strangulation didn't finish me is God stepped in. It is, But anyways, that's all I was gonna say. God moved the bullet. You know what I mean? He just moved it. I don't know. Only God knows for sure. Would God protect a man like Trump? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? No one knows the mind of God. That's what I've learned. I shouldn't even be alive. No one knows the mind of God. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Purging my weaknesses, one weakness at a time. We're purging one weakness of mine at a time, one by one. I knew it was going to come. The chastening of your friend here, the chastening of Adam is happening. The chastening. I'm not exempt just because I'm a friend of Jesus. I'm not exempt, especially me. Especially me. I'm like, if I'm a good friend, you chasing me, I don't care. You know what I mean? You know me. You know what's best for me better than anybody. Just, don't be easy on me. you know what I can withstand, you know what I can do and change. But yeah, God's really want me to believe that he can do the impossible with me. Purge all these bad habits I've had my whole life. Pluck out the eye if it offends thee. I don't know how to do that, pluck out my eye if it offends me. What does that mean? Like, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's a bad thing to not be blind. Sometimes it's a bad thing to not be blind. And I'll say that straight up. My eyes are my weakness. You know what I mean? I admit it. I admit it. The battle axe is not perfect. God knows it. Definitely not perfect. You know, God's trying to help a very imperfect individual with many bad habits he's had his whole life, many flaws. God's trying to help purge it all, transform me, change me entirely. Yeah. But the pastor said he sees monumental growth in me. So God's doing something. He is. He is with me. So, anyways, no joking around though. Assassination attempts are no joke. Even though I admit I've wanted God to assassinate me. You get me off the earth, I admit that. I wanted him to assassinate me, God. Like the quick death, bam. And that was talked about in church, like wanting the quick death, but God won't give it to us, Well, something like that, That was probably for me. Because he knows me changing all my bad habits, my ways, is so hard that I'm just like, God, just kill me. It's too hard to change all these things about me. These bad habits, just kill me off, But God doesn't think it's impossible, Apparently. But anyways, that's all I want to say for this video.